Ever since I was a kid, I have loved horror and scary movies and TV shows. And if I were to guess, I'd say that could be tracked all the way back to Snick and Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I thought I'd go back and revisit some episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now let's get a few things straight. This is my opinion. These are my favorite episodes and the ones I have the fondest memories with. These are the ones that tug at my nostalgia strings. These may not be the best episodes, and frankly, this is a 90s kids show. They aren't going to be well acted or well shot, and the effects aren't going to be good. But I loved the show, and I still do. I can still watch the episodes and enjoy them. So, without further ado, here are my top 10 favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. Number 10.
The Tale of the Wisdom Glass.
Starting off our list is The Tale of the Wisdom Glass. I've always been a gamer. I've always played video games. So, anytime a show I like had an episode that had anything to do with video games or gaming, I had to watch it. Like, Clarissa Explains It All. I only watched that show for the little video games she'd make where she runs away or murders her little brother. So The Tale of the Wisdom Glass is definitely one of my favorites. And believe me, this won't be the last episode that has to do with video games on this list. The Tale of the Wisdom Glass is about a rich kid who meets a lower class kid in a video game store, and they knock it off. They become friends. The rich kid accidentally steals a video game called the Wisdom Glass. He gives it to the poor kid. They go and install it on his PC, but when they boot it up, they are greeted with an invitation to a game tournament. When they go there, the game becomes very real, and they find themselves in danger. It's a pretty cool episode, with an anti-stealing and a pretty early anti-piracy theme. It's definitely worth checking out. Number 9.
The Tale of the Bookish Babysitter.
A TV-obsessed boy gets a new babysitter, and she might be a witch? She brings with her a bunch of books and convinces the boy to read. He reluctantly agrees, and when he does, he releases the monsters from the book into the real world, and the only way to stop them is to finish the book. It plays out kind of like a video game and is actually pretty cool. It really caught my imagination as a kid. Number 8.
The Tale of the Crimson Clown.
Another episode about video games. Kinda. A little brat kid steals the money his brother's been saving for a gift for his own mother and spends it on a video game. This kid sucks. He spends the money on a video game. When his big brother finds out, he scares the shit out of this little punk ass with a story about the Crimson Clown, a clown doll that terrorizes any kid who's been bad. And it just so happens the story turns out to be true. This is a really good tale. It's a really good episode about karma and, do unto others what you'd like done to yourself. Plus, the kid who plays the little brother really makes you hate him. He's a jackass. For a 90s kid show, he's actually really good at what he does. But it leaves me with one question. Is that a Sega Genesis game he has? Number 7.
The Tale of Laughing in the Dark.
This is one of those few episodes that only select parts stuck out in my memory as a kid. I mean, it's a pretty cool episode, but for whatever reason, most of it was lost on me. It's about a kid who gets convinced to go into a so-called haunted spook house at a carnival. He thinks he's a badass, so he decides to go in, get all the way to the end, and steal the nose from the ghost clown that haunts the whole fair. And he pulls it off. But by stealing the nose, he is haunted and terrorized by Zeebo the clown. The only way he can rid himself from the clown is to return the nose and offer the clown some cigars. It's a pretty cool episode, but for whatever reason, the one part that sticks out in my memory is the bowl of food he microwaves that turns into cigars. I don't know why, but that has stuck in my memory ever since I was a kid.
Cigar smoke?
Number 6.
The Tale of the Doll Maker.
Now this episode actually kind of freaked me out when I was a kid. A girl goes missing, and her friend is determined to find her. Turns out she's stuck in a dollhouse in the attic of her house, and is slowly being turned into a doll. The episode itself wasn't very creepy, but the girl turning into a doll, the way she looks, the way she moves, I don't know why, it freaked me out when I was a kid and has stuck with me ever since. But it's a pretty good episode, and I would say check it out. It's really the only episode that gave me the creeps, and that's why it's so high on this list. Number 5.
The Tale of the 13th Floor.
The abandoned 13th floor of an apartment building gets taken over by aliens. Their one goal? Retrieve their lost daughter. This is a really interesting and pretty creative episode. The aliens disguise themselves as a toy company to convince the kids to go up and check it out. What really interested me as a kid was the technology and the games the aliens brought to Earth. I think that's why I liked it so much, was just to see the cool toys and games. Now, I don't really remember seeing it very much as a kid, but the few times I've seen it stuck in my memory, and, you know, it's a really good episode. I would check it out. Number 4.
The Tale of the Unexpected Visitor.
This episode stuck in my mind for years, not because it's creepy, not because it's all that great, but the tone the computer makes, and the spider web traps the aliens set. Oh, nostalgia overload. 2 kids mess around with one of their dad's supercomputers and accidentally communicates with aliens. The aliens come down to Earth to interact or play or whatever with the kids. It's pretty cool. Select parts are just drilled into my head from childhood. It's completely nostalgic for me. The yellow spider webs, the beeping song the computer makes. I don't know why, but oh, I love it. Go check it out. Number 3.
Tale of the Midnight Madness.
Now this episode is pretty damn cool. Even as an adult, I really enjoy it. A crazy old man comes to a down-on-its-luck movie theater and convinces them that he can bring up the sales. All they have to do is show his movie. They reluctantly agree, and it works. People flock to see this movie. Not only is it a really cool plot about movies and horror movies, but the movie they show is Nosferatu. That's pretty damn cool. Not only is it Nosferatu, but the whole plot of this episode is that the monster from the movie comes into real life. So you got kids running away and fighting the Nosferatu. It's awesome. Number 2.
The Tale of the Pinball Wizard.
As with most kids, and hell, most adults, I've wondered what it would be like to live in a video game. And the tale of the Pinball Wizard is exactly that. A game-obsessed kid ends up losing all track of time while playing pinball and gets locked into the mall, only to find himself in the game. The mall has turned into the pinball game, and he has to save the princess. It's really cool. I mean, I'm 22 years old. I seen this probably when I was, 6, and to this day, still love this episode. Just the whole idea of the video game come to life is pretty awesome. Number 1.
The Tale of the Ghastly Grinner.
And my number 1 favorite episode of all time is The Tale of the Ghastly Grinner. This one stuck in my memory, is still stuck in my memory. The blue goo that comes out of their mouth. It's surprisingly creepy and is almost a Batman Joker storyline. It really is. A comic book artist, well, a wannabe comic book artist, goes into a comic shop and buys a rare comic, The Ghastly Grinner. His teacher finds it and throws it in a fish tank, and the kid's first idea is to microwave the damn thing to dry it. Sure enough, the microwaves set the Ghastly Grinner free, and all hell breaks loose. The Ghastly Grinner is basically a clown, similar to, I guess, the Joker, and uses the same techniques the Joker does with laughing gas. Not only do his victims laugh themselves to death, but green goo pours from their mouth. It's pretty cool. This is a really great episode. I would say go watch it, regardless if you have any memory of this show. It's that great. And that's it. That's my top 10 favorite episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The show was a big part of my childhood, and I've recently watched every episode and still love them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me for this trip down memory lane, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. And while you're sitting here, why don't you check out my top 10 favorite Batman graphic novels, and another trip down memory lane with a show I have called Throwback Thursday, where I play old games. Click either one. I'd really appreciate it. Please subscribe. Leave me a comment. Whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching.